Okay, in this video we're going to set up, calibrate, and get some charges out of our Frankfurt Arsenal Intellidropper electronic powder measure. Okay, as per the instructions. The first thing I did was level this sucker so that bubble is pretty close there, which, you know, I see why my other charger, it's quite a bit of a raise up to level, and I was trying to shim it and that. But anyway, got it level. Put the power onto it and just plugged it in. Did nothing else. The display lights up. They told you to put the pan on and then fill it. And today we're going to be trying to throw a charge of unique. Okay, that's the powder we're using. That's what we're going to do here. So that's all I did is I plugged this in. They said let it stay or leave it on for 15 minutes till you see it's stable. Okay, so it's stable. So there's our buttons: cal, powder cal, mode, unit 0, trickle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go through the calibrating thing, and then I'm going to do the powder calibration, where that calibrates this measure to the individual powder. So I'm going to set the camera up and we're going to go through the calibrating procedure. Okay, from the setup, like they said, put the pan on, fill it with powder, plug it in, let it go 15 minutes till it does this stable thing. So we've reached that point. Now it says to calibrate after 15 minutes to calibrate the device. Remove pan from the tray. Okay. So remove pan. Press 0 button, which is here. 0. Okay, we zeroed it. Press cal button and this will prompt the screen to flash all zeros. Once scale has stabilized, it will begin to flash 50. So we'll flash cal, I guess 0. Now it wants 50. So you take one of these 50 gram weights and place it as close to the center as you can without place one right on there, and we press the cal button again. 100. Wanting you to place another one, place it on top like the one guy did there. Wait for it to say stable, press cal, pass. Okay, now the device is calibrated. Place the pan back onto the tray. Okay, we put the pan back onto the tray. Sit there, wait for it to read everything stable. Wait for it to say stable. Press 0. And there we have our 0. Okay. So that's how basically you calibrate it. You got to wait for the stable to pop up. Now let me read the instructions and we're going to do a powder calibration. Okay, a feature on this powder measure, I don't know if the other ones have it or not, I haven't reached into it, is the powder cal. You wait for it to say stable, you hit the power cal, and what it will do is this machine will run with this powder at different speeds until it picks the optimal speed. Powder cal. Okay, I guess that's it. Alright, so now that we've had that it stopped, the machine has decided how it wants to do this. So what we do is we dump out the powder, let that zero, stable. Then we zero it again, but you can hit zero again, but it's on zero. It pretty much has retained its zero. So now we're going to get ready to dispense powder. Okay, so we want to go with 8.5. There we go. And then I guess we go with 0.5 and press go. Which is that gray button there, I guess, the arrow go. Okay. 8.5 stable. Dump our powder. Place the measure back. We pan back. Now I got it in auto. I didn't have it in automatic mode. So. Well, let's see. Okay, wait for it to stay stable. That's a good charge. While this is highly interesting and working, as far as I'm concerned, it's taking a little bit too much time between charges. Charge 100 rounds may take me quite a while. It says keep the cap on there. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Alright, I'm going to run this a bit tell you if this thing holds pretty stable, how fast this is going. This start and stopping kind of weird. Okay, I've been sitting here with this thing for a few minutes, and I will say that the way it's going, it is very consistently placing an exact powder charge. I mean, right to a tenth of a grain. Actually, this thing measures way more accurately than anything I've used before. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the time that it takes to do this. I'm going to time this. Okay? And I'm going to see how long it takes for me to get a charge out of this machine. Now, like I said, about the only positive thing I can see here is this thing is dead on and it's very consistent. Of course, it's brand new. I don't know how this will hold up over time. And I'm going to get you the time here and what it takes to dispense this. And I don't know. Now, the thing about these devices is dependent on the powder. Okay? Sometimes you need an automatic dispenser like this with a certain type of powder. Okay, stable. That was honestly about 1 minute. So 1 minute a charge. That means to get a box done 50 minutes, we're talking close to an hour, hour and a half to load to get a powder dump into a box of cartridges. I'm just too old to spend that amount of time. I mean, I will say that this thing is fantastic for accuracy wise, and this is the first time I've used it, but this is way too slow. I could go take that $25 Lee perfect powder measure, set that up on my bench with a drop scale, and hold them to within 1 to 2 tenths, especially with these flake powders. I could already drop 50 charges by now, okay? I mean, this is accurate, this is nice, but for this particular application, it is way too slow. Because generally when I do pistol cartridges, I may do 400 to 500 rounds at a time. And I mean, in terms of a few tenths, I mean, this ammunition will probably be more accurate than using my other equipment, because I'm keeping the charge weights exact. But is it worth me spending hours sitting here, okay, doing this? I kind of don't believe it is. And I think this is going to be as per, you know, I can see using this tool for specific powder or something, but just for like this normal reloading like this, this is taking way too long. Okay, an hour for a tray. You know, I'd like to do 4 or 5 trays today and not take half a day to do it. So I may shut this down and go on now. I will say, I got my phone here. I did try getting the load into this thing here. I'm not quite sure how this works. New load database. I'll go to database, and there I have my loads in there, and then basically I got the powder charge. I figured out how to put that in. Case length, group, velocity, and that in my feeble attempt. And I guess you can select that and then send it to the scale. But I have not perfected this. Like I told you, I'm not very much into technology. This actually was more of a distraction than a help, but it can be done, and it is an interesting thing. The only problem I'm having with this is dispensing powder more accurately than any other method that I have. Okay, but at 1 minute for each charge, that's, you know, I could go with less expensive equipment and do this task way faster and get this done. So that's probably about the only downside of this. So for now I'm going to end this video, and you know, as I work with this I'll make more and discuss it, but for right now, you know, again, it's up to you. For me, this is way too slow for what I'm doing here. Now, if I was doing some match grade rounds for a rifle and only loading like maybe 50 or 60 rounds, yeah, this would be acceptable. That's something I have to experiment with at another point in time. But for making this pistol ammo, you know, where I want to make 200-300 rounds, this isn't going to work for me. Alright guys, so stay tuned, and as I do some more work with this tool, I will make some more videos.